If you're looking for a new project where you can mix a little bit of the old with something very new and inspiring, stick around because I'm going to show you how to crochet the vintage rippling block stitch. Be right back. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the vintage rippling blocks. Be right back. If you want another way to connect, check out my Etsy shop. If you scroll the page, you'll be sure to see some of the wonderful things that I've been making that are unique patterns that you can buy, along with some digital art that you may also like. From table mats and pot holders to amigurumi, all the way down to scarves and other delectable treats that you can whip up right from the comfort of your own home. Be sure to give me a follow. I'd love to hear from you at www.etsy.com/shop/loopsbyelle. To begin, I'm going to just let you know that all you'll need is any yarn of your choice, worsted weight size 4, and any hook of your choice. Just for learning, I'm using a size 5. We begin with a simple slip knot. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting because this particular stitch does not chain off as you would normally do. I'll show you what I mean. Instead of continuing to chain, once you have chained 4, which we have done, you're going to go back into that first stitch. Okay, so it's 4th stitch from the hook, and you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, and we're going to be working a double crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now what we need is 2 more double crochets. Yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop. There's 3 on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're going to do our last double crochet, and I've already pulled up a loop, and there are 3 loops on the hook. So we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And this is what you have. Okay, looks a little interesting. Let's continue. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4 again. Okay, so that's our 4th. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So not this one, this one, this one, but this one. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing we did before, inserting 3 double crochets. So we yarn over, we insert our hook and pull up a loop. There's 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert our hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now we need 1 more. Yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to work a few more of these together. Chain 4. And we're going to double crochet into that 4th chain from the hook, like we did before. Yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Then we do our last one, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so now we have 3 of these little bumpy ridges here. And so we're going to go ahead and work 1 more together. So we chain 4, and that's our 4th. 1, 2, 3, fourth chain from hook. You're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And you continue going and putting all of your double crochets in. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work as long as we need to. Okay. As long as you have multiples of 6 of these little ridges, we have 4 so far, but as long as you have multiples of 6, you'll be able to work this pattern. So go ahead, take a moment, make it as long as you need to in any multiple of 6, and I'm going to do a small swatch and I'll be right back. Okay, so when you finish working your multiples of 6, you'll have something that looks a little like this. Okay, and I've chosen for this swatch to make 12. So you'll see 12 for me, but any multiples of 6 will do. So to continue our work, all we're going to do is chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, and this is what will look like. So to begin our next row, all we're going to do, and this is row 2, all we're going to do is insert our hook right under here. Let me pull in so you can see, because we're going to be making a slip stitch. So you're going to come in under that chain. This is our chain 3 from the previous row. We're going to go right underneath and we're going to do a simple slip stitch like that. Okay? Brilliant. So now let's just chain 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 3 double crochets in that same chain space that's under that chain where you did that chain 3 you just did. We're going to add 3 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert our hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And then for the last one, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now, for this second cluster, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to insert your hook right under that chain 3 space there, and you're going to place a simple slip stitch. Okay, then you're going to chain 3, and then we're going to add our 3 double crochets again, just like we did before. Okay, there's our second, and there is our third. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a peak. Okay, and in order to make a peak, we're going to go into that chain space, like underneath there, again, like we did before, and we'll do our slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 3. We're going to add our 3 double crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. But you're going to do something different this time around. What you're going to do is chain 3 again, and then you're going to go into this chain space here, and you're going to add 3 additional double crochets right into that same spot. Okay, so let's do that. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. Perfect. All right, so we have our peak. Now what we're going to do is go to that next cluster here, and we'll start repeating our slip stitches in under that chain, and we'll do our chain 3, and you guessed it, we're back to our 3 double crochets in that space. There's 2, and there's 3. Then what we're going to do is work one final one, and then we're going to do something different. Okay, so we're going to go ahead under the next chain, and we're going to chain 3, and we're going to add our 3 double crochets. All right, now here's where it gets fun. Okay, because you can see now that we have our little peak here. We have the 2 clusters here and a peak, and then the 2. So what we're going to do next is we're going to slip stitch in But instead of doing a chain for the next one, we're going to go into the very next cluster and slip stitch again. Okay? And that's going to create our little valley. Okay? So we're going to chain 3. Trust me, this is going to make sense once I lay it out for you. All right? And you're going to do the same thing we did before. You're going to add 3 double crochets. And to the next cluster, you're going to go under that chain space again. And you're going to work 3 and then back to your 3 double crochets after that chain 3. Okay, so that's our third double crochet. Now let me show you just so it makes sense. We started here, we have the 2 clusters and a peak, 2 clusters and a valley. Now we have our 2 clusters here after that valley. Now we're headed to another peak here. Be right back. Okay, to work our second peak, you're going to do exactly what you did before, where you slip stitch and chain 3. Then you're going to add your 3 double crochets. So that was 1, that's 2 for us, and that's 3. Then what you're going to do is, remember, chain 3, and then you're going to go right into this next space here and add 3 additional double crochets. Okay, perfect. All right, so we've done our second peak. Okay, and this is what we're looking like. We have our peak and our valley and another peak, so we got to work our way down. Okay, hope this is making sense. So you would go to your next little chain 3 here, that's right here in this next cluster, and you would go underneath with your slip stitch. Chain 3, then work those 3 double crochets. And that's 2, and that, my friends, is the third one. Okay, we're almost done. You're doing good. In the next cluster, we're going to go in with our slip stitch, chain of 3, and guess what comes next? You got it. You're going to do 3 double crochets. All right, so now that you have one final cluster left, you're going to do something very different, but simple. To finish this row, all you're going to do is go under this chain space, the chain 3 space like before, and you're going to add a simple slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work, like so. Just before we move on, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because I think if you understand what you're doing, crochet becomes so much easier. And when I began crocheting, if I had someone to explain things a little bit better, I probably would have learned much faster. So let's take a moment, take a breath, and just make sure that we know what we're doing. So we have the 2 clusters that we start with. After that chain 1 that we do when we turn our work, we have 2 of the regular clusters where you have the chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Then you have your peak, which is 2 of these. So you have your slip stitch and your chain 3 followed by a double crochet. 3 double crochets, and then you chain 3 and then do 3 double crochets again. Then you're going to have 2 more of these like you started here, okay? Where you're going to have a slip stitch, a chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. A slip stitch, a chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Then you're going to slip stitch and move on, and then slip stitch and then do your chain 3, 3 double crochets, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, followed by a chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. And then you're going to slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and then at the very end you slip stitch and you chain and turn, and that's over here because we already turned. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, and the multiples of 6 will give you that. So 6 simple clusters will give you this. So if you do 12, you'll have 2 peaks, okay? So let's move on. We already turned our work, and we'll start row 3. So here we are at the beginning of row 3. We're going to go ahead into that first cluster we have here, and we're going to add our slip stitch, our chain 3, and then we're going to put our 3 double crochets. Okay, so that's 2. And really, it seems overwhelming at first, you guys, but I promise you, the more you work it, it's going to get kind of like muscle memory. You'll be doing it in your sleep. So here's our second cluster, and what do? We chain 3, and we add our 3 double crochets as we did before. And then we start dealing with our peak again. And with that peak, we're going to simply slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then work another set of 3 double crochets. There's our third. Then we're going to go into the next 2 and just do our 3 double crochets with our chain 3 as we did before. Okay. And then comes our valley. Okay. So we have the 2, a peak, the 2 in our valley, and on and so forth. So finish this row and meet me when you're done. When you're finished with row 3, your work looks like this. Okay. And we're here faced with our last little block here, and we'll do what we did before. We'll put a simple slip stitch in, and we'll chain 1. At this point, I like to switch colors because I'm going to tell you it's going to make a much better presentation. Your color choices and how many rows you spend per each. Okay, so I'm just going to slip in a nice tan color because I think that would go really, really well here with this peach color. So I'm going to go ahead and add that and keep it moving. I'm going to go ahead and turn it. And I'm going to start now with the next row. I'm going to do what we did before and slip stitch all the way to our chain 3 and our cluster of double crochets. And now what I'm going to have you do is try to work this row and meet me back, and I'll show you what it looks like with several rows added to your work. Okay, so once you've completed several more rows, this is what your work might look like. It just depends. So you see here with the swatch that I did 3 different colors, 3 rows here of this peach, followed by 1 of a tan color that I love, followed by 2 whites, 1 tan color that I like again, and then 2 of the peach. And you can repeat and add as many colors as you'd like. You can do 1 row of each and switch off, or you can do 4 rows and 3, 4, 3, however you'd like for the colors you'd like to mix and match. But just remember that color makes a blanket. Color and the pattern working together to make something absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you've learned something that you can take with you in future projects. And until next time, from my heart to your hooks, happy crocheting, friends.